Marden. Marden is a small village in the parish of Compton in the Chichester district of West Sussex, England. The former parish was incorporated into the civil parish of Compton in 1933. It is on the South Downs 7 miles 11 km northwest of Chichester, close to East Marden and North Marden. There are Neolithic and Roman sites in the area. Recorded history of the settlement starts in the 10th century, and a church was in existence by 1121. The present church building is of Norman-style construction, and the church has remained almost unchanged. It has been described as having one of the loveliest interiors in England. The landscape, which is protected within the South Downs National Park, is based on chalk rock strata formed in the Late Cretaceous. History. A Neolithic long barrow on Firms Down at the north of Marden is named Baverse's thumb, or alternatively Solomon's thumb, probably as a medieval means of Christianizing a pagan Neolithic monument. Remains of Roman villas at Pitlands Farm in Marden and at Watergate Hanger in nearby West Marden indicate that there were Roman estates in the area. Prior to the Norman conquest, a thegn called Goda is recorded as giving 4 cassati of land to his son-in-law Weohstan. Weohstan bought a further mainter near the pool called Blackmere from Ealfrid and his wife Ealsware, then sold 5 hides to Bishop Wulfhun of Selsey for 2,000 silver pennies and a horse in around 935. Weohstan, with his wife and son, was going to Rome. During the reign of Edward, the confessor the Mardens, then known as Marden, were owned by Countess Githa, wife of Earl Godwin, and held by Lessy. By 1086 the Domesday Book shows 4 undifferentiated entries for the Mardens, which were held by Engeller de Bohun from Roger de Montgomery. The prefix up in Marden does not occur before 1227 except in a 14th century copy of a Saxon charter, where it may have been added retrospectively. In that year, Reginald Agelin was given the manor by his mother Mary, who had inherited it from her father Eustace de Valpyrones. By 1240 this land had been divided between Agelin's 4 daughters, Mary, Cicely, Gothuda, and Alice. It seems that Cicely gave her part to the Knights Hospitaller. The prior of St. John of Jerusalem held a quarter share in the manor in 1428 and continuing until the dissolution of the monasteries. The rest of the land eventually came to Alice, who remarried to Robert Hacket, and in 1357 the Hacket family sold their land to Richard, Earl of Arundel. This 3/4 share of Marden remained with the earldom of Arundel until 1581, when it was sold to William Pay, with a windmill included. The windmill was sold to Thomas Martin, and the rest became divided up. That part belonging to the Hospitallers became known as Marden St. John. It was granted in 1544 to Henry Audeley and John Cordall, who at once passed it on to John Soane. It was later bought by Anne Peckham in 1713, was connected with Thomas Peckham Phipps in 1793, and held by Vice Admiral Sir G. T. Phipps Hornby in 1879. Governance. In the 19th century Marden was recorded as a parish in the hundred of Westbourne and Singleton in the Rape of Chichester. From 1894 to 1933 it was part of Westbourne Rural District, and was then incorporated into Compton by the West Sussex Review Order of 1933. Geography and landscape. Marden lies on the chalk escarpment of the South Downs at an elevation from about 75 meters (250 feet) to 150 meters (490 feet). The hills are part of the southern England chalk formation of rocks laid down during the Late Cretaceous period around 66 to 90 million years ago. Soils are of the Andover 1 association, consisting of shallow silty calcareous, well-drained soils which overlie chalk on the slopes and ridges of the hills. Deeper calcareous or non-calcareous fine silty soils occur in the dry valleys. These soils, which dry out quickly after rain, are suited to cereal production, grassland and beech woodland. Plants are able to root deeply and extract water from the underlying chalk during dry summers. The area is protected as part of the South Downs National Park. Notable protected species of birds include peregrine, merlin, fieldfare, redwing, woodlark, and brambling. Area and population. The parish, with an area of 3,170 acres, had 60 houses in 1851. The population was recorded as 46 families in 1724 and 255 people in 1801. It had grown to 364 by 1831. Church. No church was mentioned at Marden in the Domesday survey, only those at Compton and Stoughton. Before 1121, however, Marden Church had been given, along with Stoughton Church, to Lewes Priory by Saverick Fitzcaine. St. Michael's Church stands 500 feet 150 meters above sea level on a ridge where it is approached along a farm track. Described by Ian Nairn as having one of the loveliest interiors in England, the church is all of 13th century construction. The triangular chancel arch between chancel and unaceled nave is a 16th century repair to the original 13th century arch. The walls and wagon roofs are plastered and the floors of brick. The windows are large simple lancets, with the east window consisting of three together under a rear arch. The tower has a weather-boarded bell chamber. The chancel contains a trefoil-headed piscina. A more recent feature for such an ancient church is the Victorian stone pulpit, with ogee-panelled sides, which in Nairn's opinion fits in perfectly. In 1628 a bell was cast for the church by bell founders Thomas Wakefield and Brian Eldridge. There were also two other bells, one dated 1620 and one unmarked, but all three have been taken down because of weakness in the bell tower. Captain Herbert Westmacott, MC 1952–1980, a British Army officer who became the first person to be awarded a posthumous military cross, is buried in the churchyard. In a topographical dictionary of 1833, the living at Marden Church is shown as a curacy subordinate to the Vicarage of Compton. Education. Reverend Dr. Cox, a rector of Compton and Marden, who died in 1741, left £100 for the education of poor children in the parishes. This was vested in George Farrell and yielded £3 in St. for the purpose. In 1769 an endowed school with 6 children of poor families was in being.